Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Malik. We came to the Prophet and we were young men nearly of equal ages, and we stayed with him for 20 nights. Allah's Messenger was a very kind man, and when he realized our longing for our families, he asked us about those whom we had left behind. When we informed him, he said, "Go back to your families and stay with them and teach them religion, and order them to do good deeds." The Prophet mentioned things, some of which I remembered and some I did not. Then he said, "Pray as you have seen me praying, and when it is the time of prayer, one of you should pronounce the call, adhan, for the prayer, and the eldest of you should lead the prayer." Sahih al-Bukhari 7246, reference 95, Hadith 1. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Ibn Mas'ud. Allah's Messenger said, "The call for prayer, adhan of Bilal, should not stop any one of you from taking his sahur, for he pronounces the adhan in order that whoever among you is praying the night prayer may return to eat his sahur, and whoever among you is sleeping may get up, for it is not yet dawn, when it is like this." Yahya, the sub-narrator, stretched his 2 index fingers sideways. Sahih al-Bukhari 7247, reference 95, Hadith 2. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Abdullah bin Umar. The Prophet said, "Bilal pronounces the adhan at night so that you may eat and drink till Ibn Maktum pronounces the adhan for the Fajr prayer." Sahih al-Bukhari 7248, reference 95, Hadith 3. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Abdullah. The Prophet led us in Zuhr prayer and prayer 5 rakat. Somebody asked him whether the prayer had been increased. He, the Prophet, said, "And what is that?" They, the people, replied, "You have prayed 5 rakat." Then the Prophet offered 2 prostrations of sahoo after he had finished his prayer with the taslim. Sahih al-Bukhari 7249, reference 95, Hadith 4. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Abu Hurairah. Allah's Messenger finished his prayer after offerings 2 rakat only. Dhul Yadain asked him whether the prayer had been reduced, or you had forgotten. The Prophet said, "Is Dhul Yadain speaking the truth?" The people said, "Yes." Then Allah's Messenger stood up and performed another 2 rakat and then finished prayer with taslim, and then said the takbir and performed a prostration similar to or longer than his ordinary prostrations. Then he raised his head, said takbir and prostrated, and then raised his head, sahu prostrations. Sahih al-Bukhari 7250, reference 95, Hadith 5. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Abdullah bin Umar. While the people were at Quba offering the morning prayer, suddenly a person came to them saying, "Tonight divine inspiration has been revealed to Allah's Messenger, and he has been ordered to face the Kaaba in prayers. Therefore you people should face it." Their faces were towards Sham, so they turned their faces towards the Kaaba at Mecca. Sahih al-Bukhari 7251, reference 95, Hadith 6. Sahih al-Bukhari, accepting information given by a truthful person, narrated Al-Bara. When Allah's Messenger arrived at Medina, he prayed facing Jerusalem for 16 or 17 months, but he wished that he would be ordered to face the Kaaba. So Allah revealed, "Verily, we have seen the turning of your face towards the heaven. Surely we shall turn you to a prayer direction, Qibla, that shall please you." 2.144. Thus he was directed towards the Kaaba. A man prayed the Asr prayer with the Prophet and then went out, and passing by some people from the Ansar, he said, I testify that I have prayed with the Prophet and he, the Prophet, has prayed facing the Kaaba. Thereupon they, who were bowing in the Asr prayer, turned towards the Kaaba. Sahih al-Bukhari 7252 reference 95 Hadith 7. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Anas bin Malik. I used to offer drinks prepared from infused dates to Abu Talha al-Ansari, Abu Ubadah bin al-Jarrah and Ubay bin Ka'bi. Then a person came to them and said, all alcoholic drinks have been prohibited. Abi Talha then said, O Anas, get up and break all these jars. So I got up and took a mortar belonging to us, and hit the jars with its lower part till they broke. Sahih al-Bukhari 7253 reference 95 Hadith 8. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Hudhayfa. The Prophet said to the people of Najran, I will send to you an honest person who is really trustworthy. The companion of the Prophet each desired to be that person, but the Prophet sent Abu Ubaidah. Sahih al-Bukhari 7254 reference 95 Hadith 9. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Anas. The Prophet said, for every nation there is an Amin, honest, trustworthy person. And the Amin of this nation is Abu Ubaidah. Sahih al-Bukhari 7255 reference 95 Hadith 10. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Umar. There was a man from the Ansar, who was a friend of mine. If he was not present in the company of Allah's Messenger, I used to be present with Allah's Messenger. I would tell him what I used to hear from Allah's Messenger. And when I was absent from Allah's Messenger, he used to be present with him, and he would tell me what he used to hear from Allah's Messenger. Sahih al-Bukhari 7256 reference 95 Hadith 11. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Ali. The Prophet sent an army and appointed some man their commander. The man made a fire and then said to the soldiers, enter it. Some of them intended to enter it while some others said, we have run away from it, that is, embraced Islam to save ourselves from the fire. They mentioned that to the Prophet, and he said about people who had intended to enter the fire. If they had entered it, they would have remained in it till the day of resurrection. Then he said to others, no obedience for evil deeds. Obedience is required only in what is good. Sahih al-Bukhari 7257 reference 95 Hadith 12. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Abu Hurairah and Zayd bin Khalid. Two men sued each other before the Prophet. Sahih al-Bukhari 7258, 7259 reference 95 Hadith 13. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Abu Hurairah. While we were with Allah's Messenger, a Bedouin got up and said, O Allah's Messenger, settle my case according to Allah's book, laws. Then his opponent got up and said, O Allah's Messenger, he has said the truth. Settle his case according to Allah's book, laws. And allow me to speak, he said. My son was a laborer for this man and he committed illegal sexual intercourse with his wife. The people told me that my son should be stoned to death, but I ransomed him with 100 sheep and a slave girl. Then I asked the religious learned people and they told me that his wife should be stoned to death and my son should receive 100 lashes and be sentenced to 1 year of exile. The Prophet said, by him in whose hands my life is, I will judge between you according to Allah's book, laws. As for the slave girl and the sheep, they are to be returned. And as for your son, he shall receive 100 lashes and will be exiled for 1 year. You, O Unay, addressing a man. Sahih al-Bukhari 7260 reference 95 Hadith 14. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person from Bani Aslam. Go tomorrow morning to the wife of this man, and if she confesses, then stone her to death. The next morning Unay went to the wife and she confessed, and he stoned her to death. Sahih al-Bukhari 7260 reference 95 Hadith 14. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Habir bin Abdullah. On the day of the Battle of the Trench, the Prophet called the people to bring news about the enemy. As Zubair responded to his call, he called them again, and as Zubair responded to his call again, then he called them for the third time, and again as Zubair responded to his call, whereupon the Prophet said, "Every prophet has his Hawari, helper, and as Zubair is my Hawari." Sahih al-Bukhari 7261 reference 95 Hadith 15. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Abu Musa. The Prophet entered a garden and told me to guard its gate. Then a man came and asked permission to enter. The Prophet said, "Permit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise." Behold, it was Abu Bakr. Then Umar came, and the Prophet said, "Admit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise." Then Uthman came, and the Prophet said, "Admit him and give him the good news that he will enter paradise." Sahih al-Bukhari 7262 reference 95 Hadith 16. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Umar. I came, and behold, Allah's Messenger was staying on a mashroba, attic room, and a black slave of Allah's Messenger was at the top of its stairs. I said to him, "Tell the Prophet that here is Umar bin al-Khattab, asking for permission to enter." Then he admitted me. Sahih al-Bukhari 7263 reference 95 Hadith 17. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Abdullah bin Abbas. Allah's Messenger sent a letter to Khosrau and told his messenger to give it first to the ruler of Bahrain, and tell him to deliver it to Khosrau. When Khosrau had read it, he tore it into pieces. As Zuhri said, I think Ibn al-Musayyab said, Allah's Messenger invoked Allah to tear them, Khosrau and his followers, into pieces. Sahih al-Bukhari 7264 reference 95 Hadith 18. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Salama bin al-Aqwa. Allah's Messenger said to a man from the tribe of al-Aslam, proclaim among your people, or the people, on the day of Ashura, 10th of Muharram, whosoever has eaten anything should fast for the rest of the day, and whoever has not eaten anything should complete his fast. Sahih al-Bukhari 7265 reference 95 Hadith 19. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person. Narrated Ibn Abbas. When the delegate of Abd al-Qais came to Allah's Messenger, he said, Who are the delegate? They said, The delegate are from the tribe of Rabi'a. The Prophet said, Welcome, O the delegate, and welcome. O people, neither you will have any disgrace nor will you regret. They said, O Allah's Apostle, between you and us there are the infidels of the tribe of Mudar, so please order us to do something good, religious deeds, that by acting on them we may enter paradise, and that we may inform our people, whom we have left behind, about it. They also asked the Prophet about drinks. He forbade them from 4 things and ordered them to do 4 things. He ordered them to believe in Allah, and asked them, "Do you know what is meant by belief in Allah?" They said, "Allah and His Apostle know best." He said, "To testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, the One, who has no partners with Him, and that Muhammad peace be upon him is Allah's messenger, and to offer Sahih al-Bukhari 7266 reference 95 Hadith 20. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person prayers perfectly and to pay zakat. The narrator thinks that fasting in Ramadan is included, and to give 1/5 of the war booty to the state. Then he forbade 4 drinking utensils, ad-duba, al-56 hantam, al-mazafat and a nakir, or probably, al-mukair. And then the Prophet said, "Remember all these things by heart and preach it to those whom you have left behind." Sahih al-Bukhari 7266 reference 95 Hadith 20. Sahih al-Bukhari. Accepting information given by a truthful person narrated Taba al-Anbari. Ash-Shubai asked me, "Did you notice how al-Hasan used to narrate hadiths from the prophets?" I stayed with Ibn Umar for about 2 or 1.5 years and I did not hear him narrating anything from the Prophet except his hadith. He, Ibn Umar, said, "Some of the companions of the Prophet including Sa'di, were going to eat meat, but one of the wives of the Prophet called them, saying, 'It is the meat of a mastigir.' The people then stopped eating it. On that Allah's Messenger said, 'Carry on eating, for it is lawful.' Or said, 'There is no harm in eating it, but it is not from my meals.'" Sahih al-Bukhari 7267 reference 95 Hadith 21.